Hey, I'm Mitchell.
And I'm Paul, and today we're unboxing something really big, and I mean, it's physically huge. This is the Solar E-Clipse, a new e-bike or, e-motorcycle from Solar, the guys in UK. All right, let's get it open.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, some assembly required, and you're gonna see all of that today. So this is the first PEV we've ever tested that comes with an actual VIN number, which means you can actually put a license plate on this thing and make it, fully road legal if you want to. And it comes from Solar. They're the folks behind, you probably saw a review of the P1 2.0. Solar is a UK scooter company and, well, small motorcycle company now too. And in the past, we used to get questions all the time in the comments sections of videos where people are asking about, review Solar, when are you gonna review them? But we just couldn't get them in the US. But now we've got their scooters here, and pretty soon you're gonna be able to get these here too.
I feel like most companies, they'll have scooters and then they'll move to e-bikes. So this is a really big jump to go from scooters to basically an electric motorcycle. I'm super stoked. I have some experience with e-bikes, but this is outside of my depth a little bit, so yeah. I'm excited. But I know Paul's an expert on this kind of stuff. So.
Oh, and there it is. Oh, a little ASMR for you. Look at that. So that's the big deal. This is where you're gonna be able to put your license plate. And there's still, oh, here's a little peel for you. Oh. They're still a month or two away from having all the paperwork to actually really make these road legal. For the time being, you could ride them off road. This must be the front fender. It's like Christmas. Oh, look at that dirt bike fender, I love it. All right, we'll set this over here. Even the seat's got a nice little stretchy cover.
So nice. This reminds me of automotive start-stop switch.
Yeah. So what's so exciting to me about these is they're really getting into an area that's really only been occupied by mainly Surron in the past. Oh, look at those beefy brake pads. Way bigger than scooter brake pads. There we go, yeah. So, up until this point, Surron's kind of really been the only small e-motorcycle in the space. I mean, there's the Super 72 and the Onyx, but they're not really the same thing. And then we had the Roadrunner Pro, which we reviewed recently, but that one kind of flew under radar because it's just small enough to kind of blend in with scooters and other small PEVs. But this and the Surron, they kind of need to wear plates because they look like real vehicles. Something you see on motorcycles and I've never seen on a scooter, and that's just little details like this pin right here that locates this control on the bar. It pops right in there, and then you tighten it down and it stays fixed in place.
That's cool. That'd be super nice on on scooters.
And this is something that all motorcycles do. It's got passenger pegs. That's cool. I'm not gonna put these on because we're not gonna be carrying anybody around. And they're they're pretty lightweight, but in a pinch, these will do. And it looks like they go on right here. Right. So here we're tucking away. We're not going to use the license plate right now, and so we're going to tuck away the wire that goes to the license plate bracket and the rear turn signals. We're going to tuck that up into the frame since we're not using it. So one of the things I noticed when we picked this up just now, and one of the most extraordinary things about Solar's E-Clipse is that this frame isn't cold when you touch it. And the reason is it's made entirely of carbon fiber. And now they painted over it so you can't really see it, but it's just everywhere. It goes all the way up here, and maybe even the swing arm. We'll have to check that out, but that doesn't feel cold either. So it's pretty amazing. And I think that's how they've managed to keep this actually lighter than at least one of the scooters we've tested. So it weighs just 138 pounds. That's just 13 pounds more than a Wolf King GT or a Super 72, and 45 pounds less than the Dualtron X Limited, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Dualtron X Limited, that's the only scooter we've tested that has a bigger battery than this has. And the battery's 29% bigger than the one in the Wolf King GT.
It's 72 volt, right? So would that make it larger? Would that make it, or sorry, higher voltage than the Dualtron X Limited?
No, the X Limited is for 84 volts.
84, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but this is higher voltage than the Surron X, which is a 60 volt scooter. A lot of people upgrade those to 72, but this is already there. It's 72 volts and 45 amp hours. So, you know, big battery, and it's removable and comes with a 10 amp charger. So it charges in like 4.5 hours.
Wow.
It's crazy how fast. Well, I guess we should turn it on.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, the matte black styling is so cool.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
The seat looks amazing. The ignition switch. So yeah, let's.
And it's got a couple of different kinds of security. It's got a very like old school motorcycle steering lock here, which I love, because like boom, there you've got like a physical lock, which is, it keeps you from steering the handlebars. For those who haven't owned a motorcycle before, once this is locked, if I try to push this away, I can only go around in a big circle. So it really kind of fixes the motorcycle to the spot that it's in. And then you just unlock that, and you don't have to lock that, but you unlock that, and then now you've got the remote. So hit the unlock button there, and then start, see if anything happens. Oh, wait. There's a step I forgot. The guys at Solar told me about this, I forgot. I need to plug in the battery. Let's do that. So for safety, they ship it with the battery disconnected. So we're gonna get in here and plug it in. All right, but before we plug it in, let's pull it out and have a look at it. Oh, that's nice, look at that. So now, so you can charge it in or out of the bike. Pops right in. You ready? Just like that. All right, let's try to turn it on. So we got the unlock. Oh, that's a good sign. Look, oh, it lights up. Or I just pushed I think I just pushed the go button. There we go. Oh, the lights come on automatically. That's a very motorcycle thing to do, because motorcycles run their lights all the time. And then, oh, look at the display.
Sick.
Very nice. And we're in kilometers, but they told me how to do this. There are 3 buttons over here on the side. And oh, it looks like we're pretty well charged. We're at nominal voltage, more or less. And got the brake lights going there. And it's a great display. I love it's branded right there.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like a big color center display like this to like make it really feel like legit, like solid.
Here,
oh, there you
let's
go.
make it look even better. So the display automatically gets brighter and dims itself depending on the daylight outside. And so if I take my flashlight here and just kind of cup it over this sensor, you wait a second and boom, it gets brighter. And if I put my thumb over it and pretend it's nighttime, boom, it gets dimmer.
Let's look at the turn signals here. So you get it on your display. Got the front turn light, rear turn light.
So that's a nice surprise. When I saw that they gave us a separate fender and a separate taillight assembly to mount a license plate to, I thought for sure we weren't gonna get turn signals back here, but we do, and I love this, because if you don't wanna hang that license plate on there, this is just so clean, but you still get the signals.
Yeah, I love the way that rear, just so slim, it's like so sleek.
What are the brake, let's see the brake lights.
Yeah.
Nice, very good, subtle, but let's see what the high beams look like. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it just adds, so we keep the low beams and it just adds a brighter center when you, so it's just adding a second set of LEDs there.
Let's hear the horn. I imagine it's gonna be pretty loud.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They say it'll go up to 70 miles in eco mode and 45 to 50 in sport mode. Usually when I hear a number like that, I kind of discount it to by a half, because that's typically, we get about half what the claimed range is of most things. I'm going the other way on this one, because if I look at the battery size compared to the scooters we've tested, it would put this closer to 60 miles. In sport mode even. So we'll see. We'll get out and test it, and we'll find out in the full review.
What's the speed limit on the eco mode? It keeps it road legal, right?
It does, yeah. So that's really important, because for some places you're going to be limited to 28 miles per hour, and to keep it as legal as an e-bike. And they're going to say, of course, don't unplug this thing, or only unplug this thing off-road, or only enable it. I'm not sure exactly how they probably have lock it out somehow. But I'm sure there's going to be a way to unlock that if you're off-road or in a place where you can take advantage of the 60 mile an hour top speed. And that's unverified. That's the claimed top speed, and we'll test that too. But I'm super excited about that, because that's, this looks like it'd actually be really fun to go 60 miles an hour on, not terrifying like certain scooters.
Yeah, nice and beefy suspension, so you're not like racking yourself. And yeah, I mean, you need it when you're sitting down going those speeds.
Yeah. And they quote the peak power is quoted at about 6,000 watts. They say 2,500 watts nominal. And so that would add up to like about 70, 71 amps out of the motor controller, single motor, of course, because this is just this is rear wheel drive. But they say that the sine wave motor controller itself can handle up to 300 amps. So I'm very curious about that. Like, how does that come into play? If that's just overhead for longevity, or if there's some future mod that you'd be able to do to take advantage of that higher capacity of the controller.
So Paul, you want to jump on it and see how the suspension is?
Yeah, I'm dying to. Okay. All right. So something I noticed right away, so we saw that it has an adjuster back here, and that's typically rebound damping. I'm gonna crank that up a little bit and slow the back end down. Love that, love hydraulic damping, especially when it's adjustable. Okay, so I got to crank it kind of all the way up. Sometimes these take a minute to pump up. But yeah, I can feel some damping there. It's coming up nice and slow. So something I absolutely did not expect was adjustable rebound damping at the front end too. And it's just on one fork leg, but it's it's right here. You just turn this knob here, and you get more rebound damping out of the front. If I'm going the right way.
And the front suspension is what, not 190 millimeters of travel? Do you know the numbers on the rear and front suspension?
I heard 8 inches, but
Okay.
I can't remember how that translates. Oops, so we need to tighten the front. We need to tighten the handlebars. And it's KKE on front and rear. Both ends are spring and hydraulic KKE suspension. Oh yeah, you see that? Look at that. Whoa. Now that's too slow, but I love it when you have too much, because that means you can get exactly what you want if you just back off a little bit. Nice. All right, so when I walk up to it, we're in park mode, but now I poke this button right here, and now it tells me we're in sport mode and we're ready. And that means the twist throttle is live. There's another safety feature that's common to motorcycles, and I'll bet we'll start seeing it show up on scooters about a year or two from now, and that's this right here. If I kick the side stand down, so now no matter how many times I poke this button, it's not gonna go until I kick that side stand up and then exit park mode.
So Paul, what is the maximum rider weight on this?
The max rider weight is 330 pounds. The Surron X, I've seen numbers for like 220 pounds. I've seen numbers as high as 300, but definitely not as high as 330. Oh, we mentioned earlier that it has a VIN number. I just want to show that right here. And so that's right here on the frame, very familiar looking. Anybody who's owned a motorcycle is used to seeing a VIN stamped right there. And so, you could ride this on private land and do whatever you want with it right out of the box. But if you wanted to go fully legit, use that VIN, get a plate, put the plate on back here, and you're gonna need 2 more things: an M1 or M2 license, and you're gonna need insurance. Fortunately, I've got an M1 already.
And Paul, why do you have an M1?
I've been riding rain or shine for over 20 years and even raced for 4.5 seasons. In fact, I rode here in the rain today.
So this must be a dream for you to be able to
actually, I'm very, very excited
excited
to get, this is like the closest to a motorcycle we've had, and I'm just like, I'm unbelievably excited to test this out.
So should we do it?
Yeah, let's go ride in the rain.
Let's go. Okay, Paul, so how much does this bad boy cost?
This costs $6,200 in the US.
I mean, that's a decent amount, but I mean, look what you get.
Yeah, it's a chunk of money, but if you compare it to, there are e-bikes, so you're into mountain bikes, high-end mountain bikes, and those go up like $12,000 on some of them. And with a carbon fiber frame and the big battery, I mean, we haven't ridden it yet, but just based on the specs, I totally get it.
Yeah, and I think the popularity of like the Surron shows that there's a market for this, and like this slots right in there. And I think, so far it delivers what you would want and expect.
Do you want to have the first go?
No, you go.
All right.
All you, Paul.
I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, this is really gentle and eco. Okay, that's pretty chill. Nice 45. Yeah, it's like super easy to ride. It's like fast, but it's still like really easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Looks like a ton of fun.
All right, I left it armed.
Sweet. This thing's insane. That thing pulls so hard. Yeah, I'm not used to throttles like this. To the twist throttle like that. Definitely gonna take some getting used to. But man, is this fun. I'm not as bold as Paul quite yet.
I don't know if he's coming back. Oh wait, there he is.
Fun. That's like, I don't know, I feel like I've ridden so many scooters and bikes and stuff, and like it takes a lot to like really impress me and be like, oh my gosh, I want to go out and ride more, but like it's addicting.
We were wondering if you were coming back. We're like, we've lost Mitchell.
Yeah, I took it for a loop.
And it's really easy. And it's really easy too. That's the thing that surprised me. I was like, oh, this isn't that fast. I looked down, I'm like, oh no, I'm going fast.
Yeah.
It just, the speed comes up and you just don't even notice it.
Yeah, and the only thing that took me a second was just getting used to the twist throttle, since I haven't ridden a whole lot of things with a twist throttle like that.
Yeah.
And so initially it surprised me how like sensitive it was, but I mean, one lap and I felt comfortable with it. So yeah.
And then you put it in eco mode and it's like just super chill.
Yeah, that's sick. That's awesome.
I love this thing, not just because it's fun to ride, but this opens up a whole new chapter for our channel, because we're getting into just a whole new category of vehicles. And I've loved working with Solar so far on their P1 2.0. Great scooter, great company, UK based, and with support also in the US. And so I'm stoked to get to test this next week, find out how fast it goes, how far it goes, and then we'll be back with a full review. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Mitchell with Electric Scooter Guide.
And I'm Paul.
And we'll see you in the next one.